Hey YouTube, this is Drew Howden Tech here to show you the best way to remove malware on Windows. So, a lot of sources will say to use a specific antivirus program, like use Malwarebytes, use Kaspersky, like use whatever antivirus program. But I would say that because no antivirus is perfect, no antivirus is going to find every piece of malware. You really need to use a bunch of antivirus programs. And you also need to do a debloat, all that other stuff on Windows. And one useful utility for that is called Tron Script. It packs a bunch of antivirus programs into it to remove pretty much any piece of malware. It also does a debloat, defragmentation, things like that. Now there is one type of virus that this will not fix, and that is if you have ransomware and it encrypted your files. Like, that virus is just a nightmare, and is part of the reason why you should always have a backup of your data. But without further ado, let's get right into it. If you haven't already, go to your control panel, programs, and then click turn Windows features on or off, and then enable the .NET Framework 3.5, and then click OK. Then once you get to this screen, you're going to click Let Windows Update download the files for you. Alright, then once it says Windows completed the requested changes, then you're going to click Close. And by the way, if you've already done this, then don't worry about it. And then what you're going to want to do is go to bmrf.org/repos/tron. I'll have that link in the description. Alright, then you're going to download the exe file. Now you're going to click Save File. Now I've already downloaded that file. I've got it in my Downloads folder. So now what you're going to do, once you've downloaded it, is you're going to double click on it. And I'll go ahead and extract the Tron files. Alright, now you should see two new folders called Integrity Verification and Tron. Just ignore this Integrity Verification. All I have to worry about is the Tron folder. And then if you get a script like this, you always want to read the instructions before just blatantly running a batch file. But anyway, if you want to change settings, like change the way Tron runs, just go into Start, Windows Accessories, Notepad, then go to File, Open, change this to All Files, then go to your Tron Resources, Functions, and then Tron Settings.bat, hit Open. Alright, this is where you can change a lot of stuff about the way the script runs. Now, if you aren't familiar with scripting and you're not an advanced user, don't touch this, because you might change something that you don't want to. But anyway, this allows you to set to not do certain stuff, like if you only want to do debloat or you only want to do disinfect. But anyway, if you have an SSD, I'd find the set skip defrag equals no line, and then change this to set skip defrag equals yes. Basically, this tells it to skip defragmentation. Defragmentation for SSDs does more harm than good, because it shortens the life of the SSD. If you have a hard drive, though, it does actually have performance benefits. So if you have a hard drive, you should leave this to no, but if you have an SSD, you should change this to yes. But anyway, once you're done making your changes, you're going to go to File, Save, and then close that. And then make sure you've read the instructions, which tell you to move the tron.bat and resources files to your desktop. And we'll wait for that to move. Alright, so now once that's moved, you can close out of your files. Then you're going to right click the tron.bat, then click Run as Administrator. Like, you have to run this as administrator, otherwise it won't work properly. The instructions specifically tell you to do so. But anyway, you're going to hit yes if user account control prompts you, and then it'll start preparing to run the script. And then this annoying disclaimer will pop up just saying that they're not responsible if anything happens to your computer as a result of this script run. Basically, you're going to type I agree in all caps. If you haven't already read the instructions, I'd strongly suggest you do so. But anyway, then you're going to hit enter. And it'll take you to the main menu, where it'll just give you an overview of the settings that you have. If you didn't change anything, you'll just have the defaults. I set skip defrag to yes, because I have an SSD. And of course, again, you can change settings so that way you can rule out certain programs from running, or you only do debloat, or you only do disinfect, for example. Basically, what we're telling it is this computer's completely messed up, and I don't know much about scripting, and I also have an SSD. Then you're going to press any key, and then it'll start the script run. As you may have saw there, the estimation was 4 to 6 hours. Just note that it will take a long time for this script to run. Now, I have a tiny 60 gig virtual disk for this VM, and I only use this VM to run iTunes, so it won't take nearly as long for this script to run. I estimate this taking about 30 minutes to an hour, and of course I'll speed this up. So then if this pops up, you're going to click Take My PC Health Check. Alright, so now this is what shows up when our script run is done. And I find that this is just useless because it says actual space reclaimed will not be visible until after a reboot. Okay, then you hit any key. And then after that you can delete all this. But I would keep your tron.exe file just in case you need it. And you can also delete that and this. And then empty out the recycle bin. Yeah, because like once you use it, you won't need to use it again for a good while. And by the way, if you get this notification, just ignore it. It'll fix itself. And also, one piece of advice that I think would be helpful. If you find that you're constantly having problems with malware, I would suggest that you give Linux a try. In fact, I actually made a playlist showing you how to configure a dual boot with Linux, and I'll link that up in the card. But anyway, that's the best way to remove malware on Windows. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, found it was helpful, hit the like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. And by the way, if you're part of my channel's main target audience that mainly comes from my Linux videos and doesn't really like to see Windows tutorials, I'm sorry, this channel is called Drew Haddon Tech. I can be a little bit unpredictable as to what areas of tech I cover, but I promise next video will be around Linux, so it'll hopefully be something that you're more interested in. Spoiler alert, I'm installing Debian.